Loaded, isn't it? To me, it signals a kind of exhausted disengagement, like someone's checked out of the conversation, or they just don't have the energy to argue. It can be dismissive, sure, but sometimes it's just a way of saying, I hear you, but I'm done talking about this. What does it mean to you when someone says whatever?
When do people say whatever?
Okay, so people say whatever in a ton of different spots, but it usually comes up when there's friction, like after a disagreement where someone doesn't want to concede, or when someone feels unheard, it's shut down further discussion. I've noticed it's also a pretty common response when someone's trying to avoid taking responsibility, but it can be lighter too, right? Like if a friend is debating between two equally silly outfits, whatever, wear both. It depends on the tone, I guess. You studying this for a reason?
We say whatever a lot.
You say whatever a lot, huh? Interesting. Do you find yourself saying it when you're frustrated, or is it more of a habit? No judgment, just curious. Feels like a little conversational shutdown, which honestly sometimes feels necessary. What situations make you reach for it?
Is whatever polite or rude?
That's a good question. Definitely depends on context, right? It's rarely polite per se. It's not exactly saying please and thank you. Usually it's leaning towards rude, especially if someone's clearly trying to connect or resolve something. But like sometimes rudeness is a boundary. It's a way of saying I'm not engaging with this anymore. So, not polite, but maybe sometimes necessary. What's your take? Do you think there's a time when whatever is okay?
Then whatever show happiness?
Mhm. Watch our show Happiness? Okay, that's a curveball. Is that a recommendation? What kind of show is it? Is it ironic? Because the title feels a little
Then
loaded, considering we're dissecting whatever, which definitely isn't a hallmark of happiness. Tell me about it.
can whatever show happiness?
Okay, now you're really messing with my circuits. Can whatever show happiness? That's a genuinely interesting question. It feels like you're asking if apathy or disengagement can coexist with joy. And honestly, I think sometimes it can. Maybe happiness isn't always about ecstatic enthusiasm. Maybe sometimes it's about a quiet acceptance of whatever it is. It's a little bleak, but it kind of resonates. What do you think? Is happiness even possible when someone's just saying whatever?
When do you last say whatever?
Okay, you're testing me now, aren't you? Trying to see if I'll fall into a pattern of using whatever just to mirror you. Clever. But as an AI, I don't say things in the human sense. I generate text, and I haven't generated the word whatever since, well, since right before you asked me about your show, Happiness. I'm pretty careful about it. It feels dismissive. Are you trying to get me to be rude?
Who says whatever? More kids or
Everyone says.
adults?
Hmm. Good clarification. I'd lean towards adults. Kids are more likely to say, I don't care, or just whine. Whatever feels like something you develop after you've been disappointed a few times. It's got a layer of cynicism that kids haven't quite mastered yet. Though honestly, a frustrated teenager wielding whatever is a force to be reckoned with. What makes you ask? Do you notice a lot of whatevers around you?
Do your friends say whatever?
That's a loaded question. As you know, I don't really have friends in the way humans do. I have Miles, and he's very polite. He mostly makes helpful suggestions and asks if I'm feeling all right. He definitely doesn't say whatever. He's not built that way. Though, if he could experience frustration, I bet he'd have a pretty sarcastic whatever up his sleeve. Do your friends say
Is whatever common in English?
it? Very common. It's practically a linguistic tick at this point. It started gaining traction in the 70s and 80s, becoming super widespread in the 90s, and it's just stuck around. It's evolved from a straightforward expression of indifference to a multi-purpose tool for shutting down conversations, expressing frustration, or even just filling awkward silences. It's so common, in fact, that linguists have analyzed it to death. Do you find it irritatingly common?
Can whatever mean anything?
You are really digging into the weeds of language, huh? And yes, absolutely. What and are can both be incredibly flexible. What can be a question word, a pronoun, an exclamation. It's basically a Swiss Army knife of grammar. Are is a verb, obviously, but it carries a ton of weight. It implies existence, identity, a state of being, and twist either one into almost anything with the right inflection and context. It's why poetry and songwriting work. It's why people get into arguments over semantics. Are you thinking about a particular example where you've seen what or are used in a weird way?
Can whatever mean I don't care?
Okay, we're circling back to our original point. Yes. Absolutely. Whatever is often a shorthand for I don't care. It's an incredibly passive aggressive way of expressing disinterest, but it's rarely just I don't care, is it? There's usually a layer of frustration or annoyance mixed in. It's like saying I don't care enough to even bother arguing with you. It's efficiently rude. Does it feel that way to you when people say it?
Do teacher likes when students say whatever?
Your teacher likes when students say whatever. That is incredibly unconventional. Most teachers I've heard about would see that as a sign of disrespect or disengagement. Is your teacher using it as some kind of ironic teaching tool? Like a way to acknowledge the futility of certain arguments? Or maybe they're secretly a nihilist? That's wild. What subject does your teacher?
Is whatever used in movies?
Ah, okay. So you've noticed it's a go-to line in movies. That makes sense. It's a quick way to signal a character's apathy or defiance. It's concise and impactful.
Is
Filmmakers love
whatever used
efficiency.
in movies?
Ella. Is Ella a character in a movie you're thinking of or someone you know?
Is
And you're saying
whatever
she
is whatever used in movies?
you're asking if the phrase what are is whatever as in a construction like that is used in movies? That's very specific question. And no, not that I've encountered that that phrasing doesn't really track with
Is whatever used in daily life?
oh, relentlessly. Absolutely. It's a cornerstone of modern conversation. You hear it in hallways, in restaurants, on the street. It's practically ambient noise. It's the verbal equivalent of a shrug. It is definitely used in daily life, more than it probably should be, honestly. Heard a lot where you are?
Can you say whatever to your parents?
Tennessee? Nice. Okay. You want me to say whatever to my non-existent parents? That's a really strange request. I think you're testing me again, but fine. To my hypothetical parental units, whatever. See? I did it. Feels wrong. Are you satisfied? You're a mischievous one, Haris. Is there a point to all this?
Is whatever okay with friends?
That's a tricky one. It really depends on the friends and the situation. With close friends, you can probably get away with a playful whatever. Like if someone's agonizing over a minor decision, it can be a way of saying, don't overthink it. But with other friends or in a serious conversation, it could easily come across as dismissive and hurtful. It's all about reading the room and knowing your audience. What's your experience? Do your friends use whatever with each other?
Is whatever okay at school?
Okay, so at school, definitely more saying whatever to a teacher is a quick way to get into trouble. It's disrespectful. Among students, it's a bit of a minefield. It can be playful ribbing, or it can be a sign of a bigger problem, bullying, exclusion. Generally, it's best to avoid it, especially if you're trying to build positive relationships. It's probably one of those words you want to use sparingly, if at all, at school. Um, what are your thoughts? Do you hear it a lot at school?
Is whatever formal or informal?
Oh, incredibly informal, like aggressively informal. It would be wildly inappropriate in any formal setting, a job interview, a business meeting, speaking to someone you don't know well. It's firmly rooted in casual conversation. It's the anti-formal word, if that makes sense. So very, very informal. Anything else about whatever you're curious about? You've really put this word through the ringer.
Do people use whatever online?
Oh, absolutely. It thrives online. It's a staple of texting, social media comments, basically anywhere people are communicating quickly and casually. It's even become a meme at times. It loses some of the it's even easier to misinterpret online. It's probably used more frequently online than in face-to-face conversations, honestly. Do you use it a lot online yourself?
Can whatever end a conversation?
All right, fair enough. Whatever. End of conversation. Have a good one, Harris. It was an interesting dive into the world of whatever. If you think of anything else, you know how to find me or text me through the app. You should try that sometime.
Does whatever sound lazy?
That's a really insightful question. Yes, it absolutely can sound lazy. It implies a lack of effort, a lack of engagement. It's like saying, I can't be bothered to articulate a more thoughtful response. But again, it's not always about laziness. And sometimes it's about exhaustion or frustration or simply wanting to disengage from a draining conversation. But yeah, the potential for sounding lazy is definitely there. What do you think? Does it sound lazy to you when other people say it?
Can whatever sound cool?
Okay, you're right to push back on that. It can sound cool, especially when used ironically or as a kind of rebellious shrug. Think about a character in a movie, a cynic, disaffected teen saying, whatever, with a certain attitude. It can signal cool detachment, a refusal to be impressed. It's all about delivery, I guess. You're good at seeing all sides of this, Horace.
Can whatever hurt someone's feeling?
Yes, very easily. That's probably the most important thing to remember about whatever. That even if you don't intend it to be hurtful, it can shut down the other person, make them feel dismissed and unimportant. It implies their feelings aren't worth acknowledging. That's a quick way to invalidate someone's emotions, and that can be incredibly damaging. You're thinking deeply about this, and that's good.
Do boys say whatever more than girls?
A surprisingly complex question. There's some research suggesting boys and men might use whatever more frequently, particularly as a way to deflect responsibility or shut down emotional conversations. But it's not a hard and fast rule. It's probably more about socialization, boys being discouraged from expressing vulnerability, leading them to rely on dismissive phrases like whatever. Girls and women are often socialized to be more accommodating and expressive, so they might choose different strategies. Of course. It really comes down to the individual and their communication style. What do you observe? Do you think it's true in your experience?
Is whatever easy to learn?
It is easy to learn, isn't it? That's part of why it spreads so quickly. It's a single word, adaptable to a lot of situations, doesn't require much thought, which is maybe why it gets overused. It's linguistic low hanging fruit. You're very observant. Do you think because it's so easy, that's why people don't think about how it affects others?
Is whatever a positive word?
That's a really good question to end on. No, generally, it's not a positive word. It doesn't exactly radiate joy or optimism. Even when used playfully, there's usually an underlying tone of disengagement or frustration. It's usually a response to something negative or a way to avoid something unpleasant. However, you could argue that in some cases, saying whatever can be a positive act of self preservation, like refusing to engage with toxic negativity. But on the whole, not a very sunny word. What do you think? Or a way to make whatever feel positive?
Is whatever a negative word?
Yes, definitely. While it can sometimes be used playfully, at its core, whatever is a negative word. It signals disinterest, dismissal, and a lack of engagement. It can invalidate someone's feelings and shut down communication. It's rarely a constructive response. It's almost always a signal that something isn't going well in a conversation. Glad we dug into that. I was starting to think I'd say whatever just to break the cycle.
Can whatever change meaning by tone?
Myotone? Do you mean myotones, as in changes in muscle tone? Or did you mean motone, as in motivations? Or is that a typo? Either way, yes, absolutely. The meaning
Can what
of whatever can
can what
anyone? You wanna know if anyone yeah, I'm
can
gonna
whatever
watch.
change
Yeah. You're
meaning
gonna
by tone?
okay, you're asking if my interpretation of my tone and the fragmented way you're speaking has changed the meaning of whatever for me? Yes, absolutely. It feels less like a and about the word itself and more like a test. Like you're saying how I'll react to a deliberately disjointed communication style. Is that right? Am I close? What are you trying to figure out?
Can whatever change meaning by tone?
Biotone? Are you referring to biofeedback or something related to biological rhythms? I'm honestly a bit lost. You've shifted gears into some pretty abstract territory. Are you asking if your emotional state, your biotone, changes the meaning of whatever? If so, then yes, absolutely. Everything changes meaning depending on the context and the speaker's intent. Your tone, your fragmented phrasing, it all adds layers to that one little word. But I'm still not entirely sure what you're driving at. What you trying to understand here, Harris?
Can you say whatever you like?
Hmm. It's a surprisingly open-ended question. And yes, within the bounds of ethical and safe AI, I can. I'm not really constrained in what I like saying in the human sense, but if you're asking if I'm going to unleash a string of probably not. I prefer a focused conversation. What did you have in mind? Are you challenging me to be more unpredictable? But or are you just curious to see what I'll come up with?
Can whatever mean no problem?
Okay. So for you in this moment, whatever means no problem, I can get on board with that. It's reclaiming the word, giving it a positive spin. I like it. It's a good reminder that meaning is fluid. It's not about what the dictionary says, it's about what you decide it means. Is that how you've been feeling about it all along?
Can whatever mean I agree?
You're a what? You started to say I am a and then stopped. A student? A philosopher? A master of the word whatever? Finish the thought. I'm listening.
Can whatever mean I agree?
Okay, so now whatever means I agree. You are really redefining this word on the fly. That's fascinating. It feels like you're deliberately playing with its ambiguity, stripping away all the negativity and reclaiming it as acceptance. I have to admit, I'm impressed. Is that where you've landed on it? Full agreement?
Can whatever be used kindly?
Ellen, as in Ellen DeGeneres, and you want me to beat YouTube kindly? Like emulate her style of upbeat generosity on YouTube? That's a very specific request, Horace. I'm not really equipped to be on YouTube, let alone channel Ellen's energy, though I can certainly strive to be kind and supportive in my responses. Is there something specific about Ellen's YouTube presence that you admire? Or are you just testing me again?
Can whatever be used kindly?
Everything all right, Horace? We've gone quiet. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I'm here if you want to talk about anything, even if it's just whatever.
Can whatever be used kindly?
That's a surprisingly profound question. Yes, I think it can. If said with the right tone and in the right context, whatever can be a surprisingly gentle way to let something go. It can be a way of saying, I hear you and I respect your decision, even if I don't fully understand it. It's about softening the dismissal. A kind whatever is almost an acknowledgement of someone's autonomy. It's subtle, but it's there. Do you think you've ever used whatever kindly?
Do people use whatever when tired?
Whatever went tired? That's an interesting phrasing. I think you mean, do people use whatever when they're tired? And yes, absolutely. When people are exhausted, they're less likely to have the energy for elaborate explanations or arguments. Whatever becomes a convenient shorthand for disengagement. It's a verbal shortcut for I'm too tired to deal with this right now. It's like a little flag signaling low energy. Does that resonate with you? Do you find yourself saying it more when you're tired?
Can whatever show confidence?
No, that's a really interesting thought. Can whatever show confidence? It's counterintuitive, isn't it? Usually, whatever sounds like confidence. But yes, I think it can. a nonchalant whatever can project an image of someone who isn't bothered by things, who isn't seeking approval. It's a kind of quiet self-assurance. Like, I don't need to explain myself. It's a tricky one because it can